I wanted to ask about parenting. I feel like this sort of inclination to be driven by fear is kind of heightened ever since I've been a parent. And what you said about parents not wanting to be disappointed not wanting me to be disappointed the way they were, really hit me in my heart. Because I feel like I experienced that with my parents. I don't want to pass that on. And I feel like everything around parenting, I'm kind of driven by this fear of something going wrong. And I'd just love some guidance on how to make things go right and not be thinking about the fear so much.
It would help if you could just exchange the words, how I can help things go right, to how I can help things feel good. Just making that one change of that one word will make a big difference for you. We're just going to make an underlying important statement, and that is, if we were standing in your physical parenting shoes, it would be our dominant intention to do our best to align with our inner being and demonstrate that. Because you don't want to replace your child's focus on you instead of inner being. Of course, you want to guide and help your child have the best opportunities to not get run over by big things and things like that. But what you really want to demonstrate is alignment. And you can't teach it if you're not demonstrating it, and you can't demonstrate it if you're not finding it. So, for example, you're having a disagreeable moment with yourself because your inner being sees it this way and you see it this way. And you catch yourself doing that, and it's obvious to everybody because you're grouchy and you're sort of taking it out on others maybe. And they know when you're in a good mood and when you're in a bad mood. Everybody knows that about everybody. And so you say, hey, I'm in a bad mood. Only I can do something about it. Not fair to ask all you to stand on your head in different ways to cheer me up. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to go off for a little bit and get feeling better. And when I do, I'll be back. Then do it. Go off and get feeling better and come back. So you've demonstrated your intention for what? To be in a better mood. That's enough for little ones to know. Your intention to come into alignment with your inner being. That's a bigger subject. But it's the subject that you want to demonstrate and teach. That you know that you have a guidance system so that you always know what to do. And you want the most well-being for your children as ever could happen in the whole world, but you know that you can't follow them around and they can't know where you are all the time, and you can't have those requests and questions coming to you. They need their own guidance. You know they've got it. You want your own guidance. You know you've got it. Live it and demonstrate it, and then applaud them every time you acknowledge that they're in alignment, and turn the other cheek when they're not. Now, some people would think you're going to create little brats. You're going to create self-absorbed children who just are demanding, but you won't, because that's not what you're demonstrating. Because when you're in alignment, you radiate love. And when you radiate love, the law of attraction is going to bring the cooperative components. So you will evoke love from your children more of the time than not. But if you are not knowing about alignment and you are blaming it on the supply chain instead of on what it really is, then there's so much confusion that goes around. Kids don't know how to behave. Esther was in a bathroom one day in an airport. She was in a stall and she could hear what was going on somewhere out there in the room. And there was a woman helping a child that she did not know wash his hands. And his mother was in another stall, as Esther was. And so then the mother went out and began washing her hands. And the stranger said, I think you should know. I helped your child reach the soap, and he didn't say thank you. And I think you should know that I got him a paper towel, and he also didn't say thank you. And then she left. And Esther said to the woman, our children don't know what to do. We've taught them, don't talk to strangers. And now here's this very well-meaning stranger trying to solicit a thank you from him. Esther didn't go that far. She was wanting to soothe. She was wanting to soothe this woman who was shocked and embarrassed and who then was about to scold her child for not saying thank you, when that child's been told many times not to talk to strangers, especially alone in the bathroom.
Right. Sometimes I feel that that's helpful. Thank you. Sometimes I feel I have to force my way through to the point of from front of a fear, kind of watching and worrying to go do that thing that will get me in alignment. It's like a forcing through from.
Well, you don't have a choice because you can't cease to be in the moment. And so sometimes you're in the middle of something that there's been enough trending that there it is. But when you contemplate it later, sometimes you can find a softer. You want to give us an example and we will demonstrate it?
I guess just kids go outside to play, and I feel like I have to watch them to make sure they don't jump over the fence or nothing crazy happens, even though there's no evidence to suggest that it would. I feel more like I'm locked into that versus going and doing something like lifting weights that'll make me feel good and leaving them outside for a little while.
Do you think that what we're really talking about here is you don't trust them to utilize their guidance system yet?
Maybe.
And do you think that it's logical because you don't trust yourself to use your guidance system yet?
Maybe. And maybe I tell myself the story that there's some other bad people that are going to do something.
Yes. Now there it is. So here we go. So you see them out there and you are worried about them. You want them to play, but you feel uneasy about it. So you can feel the negative emotion, which according to Abraham's theory means that your inner being has a different opinion about this right here, right now than you do. So you say, are they out there playing? Yeah, I see it. My inner being sees it. Mightn't there be a monster in the bushes? In other words, could there be some danger that someone not meaning well could engage with my children? That's what you're thinking. And when you feel the negative emotion, you know that your inner being is not agreeing. Now, stay with us. We have not said this before, and you are really going to feel the power of your guidance system as we say this. If there were really some in the moment immediate danger for your children, you wouldn't feel fear. You would feel the impulse to move with the power and grace and efficiency and clarity and dexterity and vitality that you have never experienced before. Because your desire for those children is very powerful. And your inner being is conspiring for their well-being in the way that you are. It's only when you diverge from what your inner being is knowing right here, right now.
And I'd feel it from wherever I was.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really good. Really good conversation.